Okay.
Guess which team
Hello and
Caicedo
welcome.
joined.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Ron.
Lots of news,
How are
lots
you
of
feeling?
news.
Yeah.
Let's start with the greatest of them all. We
Yeah.
finally have won the epic battle. The epic felt like a court case going on with my relatives for the house. Went on for 15 years.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been. Oh, it was a relief, but I would have liked it to have actually happened on the match day versus Liverpool. That would have been epic, but it didn't happen. Yeah.
Yeah,
What can we do?
just for people who don't know, we are talking about Caicedo.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and the video that Chelsea brought out was so beautiful, man. I mean,
Yeah.
Caicedo sitting on that car with his mom, that was lovely. And
Yeah.
um
Nice touch.
it just feels good to rub it in Liverpool's face once again. We've got him. And the fact that they went to complain to EPL,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
like schoolboys going, sir, this boy is not letting me eat my tiffin.
Yeah, they're snitching about us, and I mean, it's so childish. I spoke to a Liverpool fan today as well, and they're under the impression that Caicedo only wants to join us for the money, but sour grapes, I guess. I mean, Liverpool fans are delusional to think that a top player would not want Chelsea over Liverpool at this point in time, considering the projects, considering the state of the projects of both these clubs, considering Klopp every transfer window or every season he's always cribbing about not having enough funds. Like even if you were being sought out by such a team, why would you go there over a team like Chelsea where like if a gap needs to be filled, like tomorrow Pochettino does demand a striker, Boehly is going to make it happen, provided
Yeah,
obviously that Pochettino is doing well. Yeah,
yeah,
Boehly is going to make it happen. We're going to make it happen somehow. Like, why wouldn't you, as a player, choose Chelsea over Liverpool? It's just baffling to me. And over the last 20 years, the kind of culture that we've seen Chelsea, grow into, I mean, it's a no-brainer. And people will keep saying that it's for the money. Yeah, maybe it is for the money. Maybe we do pay them better than other clubs, but why is that a bad thing?
yeah. And the thing is, we're starting a new project, right? And we have a young team, and Caicedo's obviously
Yeah,
going to be a regular starter here. He might have been a regular starter in
yeah,
Liverpool as well, but the fact that he gave his word and the fact that he's a Chelsea fan, everything plays a
yeah,
part. And
yeah,
Liverpool fans claim that they scouted him, but we're the ones who
yeah,
made contact. We're the ones who agreed
yeah,
with whom he agreed personal terms to. And the fact that they tried to hijack a deal and then make it seem like they
yeah,
were the ones from whom the deal was hijacked. That
yeah,
that was funny to say the least. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
uh,
Chelsea's inspired a whole generation of players. I feel like a lot more players growing up would have been Chelsea fans over the last 20 years than has been the case prior to that, right? Like
yeah,
even we've seen players like Mbappe and all during his teens or childhood, wearing Chelsea shirts, and it's just been synonymous with success. We've just been synonymous with success, and I mean, I can't understand why people can't get it into their heads. I think they don't want to come to, come face to face with the reality that Chelsea are a bigger club than maybe Liverpool at this point in time. You
yeah.
know?
Given the fact that we've had a bumpy last 2 years and Liverpool are
Yeah,
probably having the season of their their golden time period, and
yeah,
we've still won the same amount of trophies over the last 5 years. So
yeah,
yeah, uh, it's good to let's forget about Liverpool. We've given them too much footage. Let's
yeah, yeah,
yeah, we're excited to see Enzo pairing up with Caicedo.
yeah.
Who do you
Yeah.
think is going to get the gonna get the axe in that midfield three to.
I think it's obvious, isn't it? Like if Lavia gets done, which I hope it does, but until it gets announced, we can't jinx anything. Like under current circumstances, anything can happen.
Yeah,
So I'm not going to jinx it. So I think provided Lavia gets done, I think no matter how good he's been, Chukwuemeka and Conor Gallagher, both of them are going to see a lot of time on the bench. That is, if they
yeah,
end up staying at all at the club. Like I think Carney is going to stay over for sure, but Gallagher might. There's still a possibility that he might leave this season or the next. But I think those two are the players who are going to find themselves on the bench more often.
yeah. If Gallagher leaves Chelsea, that makes Enzo our most experienced midfielder, and he's had like
Yeah.
half a season in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Uh,
And he's barely won a match for us. Um, yeah,
he,
and
crazy stats.
yeah, I mean, crazy times. Like, I don't think I have seen a team rebuild this massive ever in my
Yeah,
life, following football or any sport for that matter. I criticized Boehly a lot earlier. I feel like I felt like they were rushing through things, changing managers, just chopping and churning, making harsh decisions. Backroom staff, technical directors coming and leaving, and but it's barely been one season, and
yeah.
like our club doesn't resemble anything that it used to
Yeah.
be a year ago.
And I think
What
it
do you think?
has, yeah, it has a lot to do with the fact that Boehly wanted a fresh start. He did not
Yeah,
want the previous backroom staff or the previous players. And we've
yeah,
had a lot of instances where managers have come out and said that the players were not really supportive
yeah,
of their tactics, and the fact that they knew
yeah,
that the players are safe at Chelsea, but the manager is not. So
yeah,
that kind of mindset, I think he wanted to do away with, and
yeah,
he's done a brilliant job. I mean, we've sold half our
yeah,
squad, and we've sold not sold anyone for peanuts. We've got like Kai Havertz, Mason Mount. I
yeah,
mean, they
yeah.
are big money sellings.
Yeah. I mean, considering that we knew that these players would most likely leave, we still managed to get a really good deal for these players. Like Mason Mount wasn't signing a new contract. His time was up, even maybe next season, even if he had stayed. But we still ended up making good money for Mason Mount and Kai Havertz as well. So I think he's definitely done some good deals. Uh,
Yeah,
I think some more deals to come. We'll see how it goes. And before we move on from uh, uh, the Caicedo thing, I just wanted to plug in. What do you think about Caicedo getting the 25 number 25 jersey, the legendary number 25 jersey at Chelsea?
yeah. I mean, it's going to be a bit weird seeing a CDM wear the number 25, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's a step in the right direction. They're rewarding
yeah,
his faith in the
loyalty.
club and his
Yeah,
loyalty. Yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, I'm happy that he's got number
yeah.
12 would have been better, I guess. Give him the legendary
Mm.
John Obi Mikel jersey. And
The spirit
anyway,
of Mikel. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, number 25 is not a bad number to have on your back, especially if you're a Chelsea fan.
Back to FFP, like a lot of chatter. Everyone wants to report us. Everyone wants to say we are the bad guys. And I mean, I hate to admit it. I mean, I don't hate to admit it, to be honest. I love it. I mean, I love being the bad boys of the Premier League. Like I love when the whole world is against us and we still fighting. I think that's when we've thrived. And looks like we're back. Like everyone
Yeah,
can't wait to
I mean,
throw us
let's
under the bus.
let's get something straight. Like, we may have been painted as bad boys, but we're not. We're well within the framework of the law.
Yeah, yeah,
And the thing is, since we're not playing Europe next season,
yeah,
the UEFA's FFP rules don't apply to us. So
yeah,
Europe does not allow for a more than 5-year contract to be amortized. So you can
mm,
amortize it to a maximum of 5 years. But since we're not playing Europe, we can take advantage of that loophole. And like,
yeah,
there's a lot of things that obviously Liverpool fans won't know about, but since they don't spend any money anyway, so
But Jurgen Klopp knows a lot about our finances, and Pochettino said that as well. So yeah, I
yeah.
think maybe we should listen to him. Yeah.
Uh,
Such a whirlwind of emotions where he said that we'd never spend that money, then going ahead and bidding 110 for Caicedo, and then announcing the signing in the press conference, and then to have that blow up in his face. I mean, is this priceless? Like these are
yeah.
the moments you live for as a Chelsea fan, I guess.
And on top of that, Fabrizio's "here we go" our Lavia deal. So I don't want to jinx
Yeah.
it again. Like you didn't
No,
want to
no,
jinx it,
no.
even I don't want to jinx it. But what a way to rub
Yeah.
it in. uh,
Yeah.
and uh,
Yeah.
the Lavia deal is by itself, what we bid for Lavia is lesser than what Liverpool bid. And in
Yeah.
order to get Lavia, we had to increase a few add-ons. So they are not
Yeah.
part of the original deal, but they are just add-ons that make the deal higher than Liverpool's. So yet another
Yeah.
player who doesn't want to join Liverpool and is
Yeah.
okay with like
Yeah.
getting his club to pay less for and join Chelsea.
Apparently it's only like everything's all for the money, like, but yeah, what do we
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
Teams like PSG, City, Chelsea, even if they do violate FFP laws, do you know what happens? They just get a $10 million or a $15 million fine. You know what that is?
No,
Peanuts.
no, no. I won't be that confident about that because I know that the rules are always different for Chelsea than for any other club. Like we'll get sanctioned. I don't know what. Anything can happen to us. We might be put for sale again. We might be transfer banned. Things
No,
do happen
and
to us
our
differently
owner is
than for other clubs.
American now. He's not a Russian. He's not a villain anymore.
That doesn't matter. Like, I mean, we can still see it happening. I think the rules are different for Chelsea, so I would still like for us to toe the line as much as possible, and keep definitely keep adding salt to the wound for these guys. Definitely
Yeah,
get all of their targets. I love it. I think after Willian, this is probably the biggest heist that we pulled on a fellow Premier League team,
yeah,
and I loved it.
yeah. And
But what do you think about the Lavia Caicedo pairing, by the way, in midfield, that pivot? I think
yeah, it
they both are different players, and I think they can complement each other very well.
Yeah, and most importantly, it adds squad depth. So, like
Yeah,
we have two CDMs who are ready to play in the first team whenever required. I'm
mm,
not sure if they will be playing together,
yeah,
because I think Enzo will be a regular starter, and there will be one person playing a little further up, and that won't be Lavia or Caicedo. So, but I don't know. Pochettino can surprised us. He surprised us with a against Liverpool with three at the back. So, um,
I think I think Enzo is the guy who's going to be playing slightly up front. So we might see Caicedo and Lavia drop back down and
yeah,
bolster the defenses. But Enzo will have slightly more free roam up top behind our three attackers.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
but
I hope he
yeah,
does. Yeah, he was
yeah,
brilliant against the Liverpool against Liverpool in that game,
yeah,
and yeah, yeah. The further he can get forward, the better our attack
yeah,
looks.
yeah,
Yeah. Sad to see a few players who will be potentially leaving Chelsea.
yeah.
Uh, Lewis Hall, he was a promising midfielder turned left back who helped us out in a few crunch games last season.
Yeah.
And the fact that we are getting potentially 30 million plus 10 million for him, I feel it's a brilliant deal.
I don't think it's brilliant. I definitely think it's a deal that we shouldn't be making. Uh, Maybe Trevor Chalobah could be someone who can be let go before we consider selling Hall, because from the glimpses that I've seen, Hall looks world class. He looks like he's really going to shine wherever he goes.
Yeah.
Uh, and to put things into perspective more, Lavia is only 19 and we're paying close to 50 to 60 million for him. And Hall is a year younger. So even if we do get 30, so I mean, what if he stays another season, or what if he goes out on loan, gets more Premier League experience? Can we end up getting more money for him maybe next season? Uh, when he has slightly more Premier League experience, when he shows what he's capable of. So, but at the end of the day, I also think back to how it was when Callum Hudson-Odoi was 18 and Bayern Munich came knocking at the door, and they
Yeah.
offered us money, but there was so much pressure to keep uh, our one academy product back at the
Yeah.
club. That deal fell through, but you know how it went after that because of his injury. Progress halted. So we never know how things are going to turn up. If Todd Boehly thinks that this is a deal that we need to do, and this is the easiest way to add money to the books. I think we've had a stellar window. I can't really complain too much about losing Hall at this point in time.
Yeah, I think balancing the books is one of the main reasons
Yeah,
for
yeah.
this sale. He could have easily sent him out on loan because
We assumed a lot of players were going to stay just because they came last season, but we've seen Koulibaly leave. We've seen Kepa leave. Kepa is also. I mean,
yeah,
yeah, Kepa's also moved to Madrid. So yeah, one more player leaving us and has apparently completed his medical. His Ziyech.
oh my
Glad.
God, completely passed. He passed his medical.
So it's not concrete yet, no announcements yet, so no celebrating. But yeah, looks like we've pulled, one more out of the hat, and there's only Romelu Lukaku and Callum Hudson-Odoi to go
One deal
after
that
this.
is not happening is Olise. He's
Yeah,
signed a new contract with Crystal Palace, so we
yeah,
missed out on one young winger. Uh, and that's a deal I was pretty excited about given Raheem Sterling's form.
yeah,
But yeah, I don't know if you're going to look for anyone else at this point of time. But
yeah.
yeah, the Olise deal is not happening.
We are looking at alternatives, but I'm not really too bothered about that deal falling through because I'm pretty sure we'll find replacements. Also, there's a little bit of controversy in this deal as well, where apparently Crystal Palace wanted to report us because we somehow, uh, were trying to poach the player and got to know about a release clause that they didn't want to communicate to us. So, in a bizarre twist of events, suddenly he signed a new deal with Crystal Palace, and the rumor is that the release clause that was specified in the earlier contract has been obviously either removed or amended.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, you know, what can we do about things like this? Yeah,
Yeah, his release clause was around 35 million, and now they've
yeah,
obviously not gonna let him go for that, especially when they've seen how much we've spent on Caicedo and Lavia.
yeah, yeah. So maybe he'll go end up at Liverpool. So who knows?
Okay, and so we'll end this video with a very sad news. Our new captain, he remained captain for just 70 minutes.
Yeah,
It's not even funny anymore. I mean, his injuries are really coming in the way of Chelsea, of his own progress, of
yeah.
our right
Of
back
his legacy.
situation.
Yeah.
Um,
And I told you last time we spoke on the last episode that Malo Gusto, I'm pretty sure, is going to get a lot of game time. I mean, sooner or
yeah.
later. And I didn't expect it to be this soon, but yeah.
Yeah. The they haven't come out with an official statement as to how long he'll be out, but the rumors are it's going to be a few months. So we've got Reece James out for a few months. We've got Nkunku out till December. So Reece James hobbled off and gave the armband to Ben Chilwell. How long do you think he's going to stay fit?
Chilwell is going to pass on to Kukurea, and Kukurea and Gusto are going to play for us, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. The armband's going to come back to Silva one way or the other, whether you name him
Yeah.
captain or not.
I mean, it already did in the first match. So
Yeah.
I think they just showed the progression of events over the course of this season.
On that note,
Yeah.
we'll end today's episode. Stay tuned. The next match is against West Ham. We'll have a
Yeah.
predicted lineup as usual coming up for you before the game. Hopefully,
I want to predict a 2-0 score line right now.
given the
2-0
fact
to the Chelsea.
that Newcastle thrashed them last week.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I think Jackson's going to score hopefully, and we'll give maybe Ben Chilwell the other goal. Let's see.
Okay, then we're not coming out with another episode. This is done. We went. We don't beat it on the bush.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right. See you on the next episode.
Whenever that is.
Yep.